Hey YouTubers, today we have an LG washer dryer with the OE error, which means that the drain motor is not working anymore. So we're going to fix this. Pretty easy to do. We got a new drain motor from Amazon. I'm going to pull the plug out. I'm going to pull open this little door here, pull out this black drain hose, and I'll let out any water that might be in there. There might be still a lot of water left in there. In this case, just a little bit left. I want to get all the water out of there before I go to the next step. Put that little plug back in, and then I'm going to take off this lower panel, open this door. There's two white screws, Phillips head screws. I'm going to take out that one and that one, and then I can get this little bottom panel off pretty easily, and that'll give me access to the pump. You can also take off the whole front panel is another way to do this. You can also take off the bottom panel below and come in from the bottom, but this is a pretty quick way. I'm prying off the left side here to get this bottom panel off. I'll pry off the right side using a flathead screwdriver. So next I can lift this white plastic panel off by lifting back and up at the same time. Get that off, and now I have really good access to the pump. I also have the washer dryer pushed back against the wall by about 45 degrees just to make it a little bit easier to get to where this pump is. You don't have to do that. Here's the pump. There's a pump on the other side too. That's a circulation pump, but this is the drain pump on the left side. I'm pulling off the two wires bringing power. I'm just going to push those out of the way. And I gotta remove these three Phillips head screws from the front. These screws, by the way, are a bright chrome. You don't want to confuse them with the three screws that are holding on the motor, which are kind of a galvanized, dull type of silver, because they're actually different size. And if you try to put the little screws in to hold the pump in, it won't work. So here's the three screws here that are holding on the pump. Here's one at the bottom of the pump. I'm going to zip that out, pull it out. I'm kind of moving the pump around. It's somewhat flexible. It's still attached to a couple of hoses, but I can move it around to get to these screws. So if you pull it around, it won't hurt anything. It's okay to move it around. Here's another one of the Phillips head screws I want to get out. There's one here on the left side, same size screw. I'm going to zip that one out. And then there's one on the right side here that's actually really easy to get to. I zip that one out, and then I can take the whole motor off. The motors are only about 25 bucks. We'll put a link in the description below so you can get it from Amazon really easily. They last about 4 years, and then they just don't work anymore, and they give you the OE error. So you can kind of see how that pump was going in there, about 45-degree angle. So here's where the screw goes on the right side. There's two holes, but there's one that's on a little bit lower. That's where that goes. And then on this side, it goes in this higher hole. There's two screw holes. So on the left side, it goes in the higher one, and on the right side, it goes the one in the middle, and then there's one at the bottom. So here's the old pump. You can see the impeller is kind of loose, kind of just flops around, and that's a sign of one that's just not working anymore. There's a protective case on this that we're going to pull off. We're just going to pull back on it and get this plastic case off and put it on the new motor. It's just a protective case. If you didn't put this case on, it would still work, but this just, I think, helps to keep water off of it. I'm just going to slide this one onto the new motor. And I want to push it in all the way until it clicks into place. Kind of wiggle it, push, and you'll get it to click in. And then you're ready to put the pump in. Actually, we do want to take a paper towel, or I'm using just a regular old towel here, to wipe off the inside rim where the pump connects. The pump has a big O-ring, a rubber O-ring, that has to make a very good connection to the pump housing. I want to get that really clean. I noticed there was some sand in there. And that could prevent it from having a really tight seal. So I'm cleaning all that junk out of there. And that's just, again, the inside rim where the pump is going to attach. And I'm cleaning out this part, which is the pump housing. So it looks pretty good in there, pretty clean. We can go ahead and put the motor in now. So I'm going to bring that screw right into there. That's the bottom screw. I'm going to push the pump in. Remember how it was about 45-degree angle? I'm just putting it exactly where it was. And then I'll go ahead and add that one bottom screw in, the Phillips head screw, get it nice and tight. And I'll go for this one. This is the one on the right-hand side. Remember, there's 2 screws holes there. You want to use the bottom one, not the top one. Get in there really tight. And remember, you can push this pump around wherever you want it because it's somewhat flexible where the hoses are attached. You won't hurt anything. But do get these screws really tight because otherwise you'd have a little bit of a leak when the washer fills. All right, we got it. So we do want to now get one more screw in here. It's going to go on the left-hand side. Remember, there's 2 screw holes, and you want to go to the upper hole. I'm using kind of a long extension for my Makita drill. So I'm going to zip in this one. I'm sorry, my Milwaukee drill. Get that in there nice and tight. So we got them all tight. We got the one on the left, got the one on the bottom, one on the right, tight. And now we can go ahead and put the pump and mount it back in to the frame. There's 3 Phillips head screws that hold that on. Remember, those are the shiny ones. I'm gonna line that up. Phillips head driver. And push in from the back. There we go. So the next one goes in at about the 11 o'clock position. Next one goes in at the 1 o'clock position. Got those tight. So let's put on the power connectors. Those back, turn it on. I got it on the regular position and I'm letting it fill, and as I fill, I'm watching the pump. I just want to make sure there's no water dribbling out of it, that there's no kind of a leak, but it looks great. So if you get those 3 Phillips head screws in there tight, you're going to be okay. Remember, don't confuse those screws with the ones that hold the pump onto the frame. The ones that hold the pump onto the frame are smaller and shiny. These are kind of a dull silver, the ones that hold on the pump. Giving it a test. Turn it on. I'm going to press the spin speed button. To high speed, turn it on. I'm going to go for 14 minutes. I'm just watching down there again just to make sure there's no leak. So another thing you could do if you had a bunch of water in your machine is you could tilt it back and just take a cup and just empty out all the water, and then you can open up this coin trap and make sure there's nothing caught in there. Sometimes you can get a sock caught in there. Pull it out. You might find a sock or a piece of underwear in there. You can push in on the back of this rubber hose here in the back just to make sure there's nothing caught in there. It looks good. Nice clear opening. You can take a pair of pliers and press in on this hose clamp and lift up, and then you can take off the pipe on the top, which is the drain pipe, and make sure there's nothing caught in there. I've seen coins get caught in there and it blocks the water. Make sure you can look up in there and there's nothing there. You can also blow in from the other side of that drain tube to make sure that it's not clogged. pushing a little wire in there, make sure there's nothing caught in there. I noticed that when I did this repair that one of the electrodes here was bent down and was not making contact, so I wasn't getting any drain response. So I bent that electrode back up. Now I'm putting the power wire back on, and that fixed the non-drain problem. So turn it on. I set it for drain and spin. Press start. We can see that water draining away. We can hear it. That's perfect. We put the bottom panel back on. Feed that hose through that hole. Push it back on the rim, and then I'll add the 2 Phillips head screws that hold it on. And we are done. No leaks, and it drains great. Watching our video, and please subscribe to our channel when you get a chance, and also click the little bell notification button so we can send you weekly videos on all the different ways of fixing appliances around your home and saving you lots of money. So thanks again for watching, and please also press the like button for our video if this was helpful to you. To contact me at the email listed below, which is scottthefixitguy@yahoo.com, with any of your questions.